Hello. Welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Lines Forever and Theta Passage on the Ladder. Classic, classic map, classic matchup of Aeon versus Cybran. ThomasHiatt playing Aeon, Aesthetic playing Cybran. So, difficult map for the Cybran player here versus an Aeon. We'll have to see some fast gun, fast T2, and yeah, first gesture is an option on Theta Passage. A nice Cybern option, and I should be able to find a first gesture video, build order tutorial to link in the description. Somebody's probably done one, surely. I can't remember the last time I've done that, but I think you might need to start with 2 PGens. Anyway, into this game, Aesthetic made his first engineer. Ooh, this is a strange build order. So we have 2 labs out. No scout for them at the minute, so... And they're both going to the same spot, so... We also have 2 labs from ThomasHiatt, so a very aggressive start here. And this is an unusual build order to see from Aesthetic. Usually you just walk to the Hydro, have all your build power in one location to build, as we can see ThomasHiatt is doing here. So I'm not sure why Aesthetic has gone for this. And the labs are kind of messing up their pathfinding there on this terrain, unfortunately. And Thomas didn't see them. Well, actually, he may have. Aeon's Land Scout has the most radar range of any T1 Land Scout. And we can see the units being microed independently. It's really, at the highest level, you should see players scouting their opponent's base with the Land Scout early on to spot early dangers. This engineer is dead. So this is one problem with not sending your ACU to the hydrocarbon. The hydrocarbon is more vulnerable. This engineer could have escaped and been killed by and been rescued by his commander. As it is, an engineer goes down. Over here we have these labs not finding anything. Aurora 2-shot all labs, so they're quite effective versus them. But we have another kill, some reclaiming happening. But Thomas gets away and gets the kill. This lab is still alive. It's got 1 kill, but I think it may have killed just a Land Scout, so not the most effective kill. And Thomas... Now that is an interesting move. I don't remember seeing this, but he's just rushing the gun as fast as possible. He has 2 factories. One of them is even paused. And he's now making the gun. He should probably send this guy away to get some reclaim, maybe expand. But just putting all of his resources into this gun upgrade. So he is stalling. That's lowering his mass income, but it doesn't really matter. He just wants that gun upgrade. And he's going to get it extremely fast. Now, that is the Aeon speed gun. So the Aeon speed gun is cheaper because they have 2 gun upgrades. Both of them are cheaper, so you can see 500 mass, 15k power. And the same for the range. And Aesthetic, his gun 800, so you can see it's about 3/4 the cost, or exactly 3/4 the cost. And the reason Thomas is actually doing this is, well, one, his opponent is never going to expect it, but also his opponent, generally on Theta, you send both commanders to this mid-mass, you can see all this, and they generally get there at the same time and try and steal each other's mass and stuff. And so both commanders are going to be here, and actually Aesthetic is kind of delayed, so they're going to be here at the same time, but Thomas is going to have double the damage that Aesthetic does on his commander. It's a very nice raid from Aesthetic, though. You can see Thomas is taking damage for this this super fast gun upgrade. This Aurora got through and got some very nice kills, so that's painful raid. The bomber from Aesthetic, also a good choice, and in this scenario, by accident a good choice, I guess, but especially good here because Thomas has no air. He put all of his energy into that commander, so now we can see double the rate of fire. When will Aesthetic realize? Because this is so strange. You can see Thomas should really stick as close as possible here and get as many shots on the commander as possible. You can see as he turns, he's actually wasting shots. And he should really aim to just stick with this commander, do as much damage as possible. But now we see reinforcements coming in. And Aesthetic has already lost 5,000 HP. But these bombers are actually doing significant damage to Thomas's ACU. He's trying to dodge them. And now the Mantis come in. Aesthetic is forced to retreat on 3,000 HP. Thomas has 6k. And he can work on these Mantis. Map control wise, Thomas still managed to do this raid over here, which is actually huge, because Aesthetic could have these 2 extra mexes already. This raid from Aesthetic was very good, just killing all the expansion here. And we have T2 land finished for Aesthetic. Now what should he be doing? Well, he needs to get his T2 units out. You can see 3 hoplites and a stealth bot. Oh, not a stealth bot, but a stealth system, let's call it. And he's gonna go for hoplites. Now his commander is kind of low, and really he should be aiming to get a gun upgrade sooner rather than later. Now, although this ACU doesn't have range, it has the same range as a T1 commander, as a normal unupgraded commander. This double damage is still significant and dangerous. So Aesthetic should be aiming for his own gun upgrade somewhere down the line, because he can't really 1v1 this ACU right now. And so, should see some added power. We should see an energy storage from Aesthetic so that he can overcharge these T2 units. He doesn't know there's, well, in fact, now he knows for sure they're T2 units. He just saw one and he's being shot at it by this hoplite. Also, Aesthetic has the speed gun, so he's not going to get the sensor system. And that's good for Aesthetic. That means his stealth on his commander is going to be very useful, and also this stealth bot is going to be useful. And he has many air scouts going around. You want to be careful on a 5x5 with air, because it is quite expensive. I mean, if you make an air scout that's 40 mass, that's almost a Mantis. So they're quite valuable, and you don't want to throw too many of them away. Also want to stop making interceptors. There's still no air factory here at the minute, and we've kind of reset, but we've kind of set and sort of default map control here. Some mechs is missing for both players, but generally even. The difference is Thomas has speed gun. Oh, we do have an air factory now. Has not yet been scouted, but there's a lot of hoplites out, and unfortunately this stealth system is costing him too much. He can't actually afford to run it. We can see more PGens being added, so he should be aiming for how much power income? I'm not sure. He's gonna need at least 500 to make the gun really, and keep other stuff running. And Thomas is going for the range gun. That's a smart decision. He already has the speed gun, but versus the hoplites, you really need the range. Speed is obviously not gonna do much for you because they're gonna kite away from you. With the Aeon range, though, you can do great damage. Now he's gonna need an energy storage to help him out with that. He has, so that when he does get into range, he can kill them immediately. Oh, that's a slight miss micro. Should be sucking up this mass as soon as the hoplite goes down. So we have still Mantis, some Mantis and Medusa coming out. And just massive map control here. Now the double gun doing damage. And Thomas taking quite a bit of damage actually from the hoplites, but still getting some kills. He's going to get his first veterancy shortly. That's going to help him a lot. He's not moving to T2 land. Oh, what is this? I only just noticed, but Thomas is making labs. Now, why he's making labs, I'm not sure. He's also making another air factory. What are these labs going to be able to do? He's running into range now and taking out some hoplites. And now moving in to try and do some raiding. You can see if even a single rocket hits these guys, they are toast. But oh, he's trying to dodge. But that's a lot of labs he just lost. We also have no radar at the minute. And again, no sensors, so that's going to be a problem. So many labs here. He got a couple hoplite kills, which is just amazing, but I don't see how these labs are going to work. There's definitely, he could peel off some labs and do some raiding here, but using them at the front with his ACU seems slightly doomed. Aesthetic has a second T2 factory up. He's not making the gun. That's really the weapon he needs. He's suddenly lost. He's just being forced back. With only these hoplites to work with, the double gun Aeon ACU is just forcing him back and back. And Thomas should be grabbing this reclaim as he forces his opponent back. More hoplites dying to overcharge. Another one. Ooh, that was a lab or a mantis that got taken out. And actually the deceiver dies too. And the labs at the top have done some raiding. 3 mexes are down. But they're going to leave a lot of reclaim. Oh man, this is a meme game. We have the beetle. We'll see how that does. It's a last line of defense. Another 2 hoplites die to an overcharge. And the fire beetles go down. Those are expensive units. Thomas's army is dying, but his ACU is taking very little damage, and it's already on a 2nd vet level. Aesthetic really needs the gun upgrade. And Thomas now building power. Needs as many overcharges as he can get. Oh no. Keep the fire beetles back for now. And Thomas has gotten so many kills. Aesthetic has a T2 max now, and still T1 for ThomasHiatt, and Aesthetic now deciding to get the hell away from this ACU and use his tanks elsewhere. That's going to be effective. You can see many kills here. He has map control at the top. The labs move in, but they're not that much faster than hoplites, and these hoplites are getting so many kills. Oh my god. Now if we look at reclaim, Thomas has actually taken advantage of some of the reclaim around the place and has about 2k more than Aesthetic. Aesthetic needs to make the gun upgrade. Make it. And make stealth as well. I mean, if he had stealth and gun, he could have a chance of fighting this ACU. But as it is, he has nothing versus this thing. Not even Beetles can save him. Unless, I mean, he could get Beetles into a transport. I'm sure Thomas does not use auto overcharge. So, you can still drop Beetles. We saw it in in that replay review. Someone attempted it. Now we have the gun coming for Aesthetic. And that's good for him. The only thing... Oh, we have a T2 max as well. The only thing you can do with hoplites versus this kind of ACU is hide them behind stealth and also just simply run away. The gun is cancelled and it looks worse and worse. We have such an army for Aesthetic. I mean, if we just look here. Look at this, 6.8 thousand mass in units. 2,300 for Thomas. Thomas has nothing. Thomas has absolutely nothing. Except this ACU. And Aesthetic still has not managed to get his gun upgrade. It's been cancelled. But he can't make these units work for him. The Rhinos looking for targets. And he has to be careful that his base doesn't just get run over. He has no T2 PDs here to defend. He has so much power. And now he's moving into range of this gun comp. Maybe he wants to go for the kill, but it's still going to be difficult. His tanks are quite split. You can see him here trying to stay out of the way of this commander. And now trying to do damage with the hoplites. Trying to get into range with the ACU, but it's not happening for him still. We're going to see more overcharges. A Rhino and a hoplite go down. Thomas has taken almost no damage. He's successfully dodging the hoplite fire. And he has his last vet actually. So now he has 40 per second regen. And he won't get any more healing. The units are in range. The hoplite shots are landing. Thomas loses 3,500 in one volley. He's dodging more, down to 10,000. The Rhinos putting in a lot of damage now. But will he go down? Is Aesthetic in range with his ACU? He's not, he's still out of range. And Aesthetic retreats. There's so much reclaim on his side of the map right now. So much reclaim. And he may actually die to this ACU, which outranges him by such a margin. And the bombers are coming in. He's down to 1000 HP, but he's rescued by his units. And Thomas begins Tech 2 land. And the game continues. So much mass for Aesthetic on Aesthetic side of the map here. So he needs to be grabbing that as soon as possible, adding more power, rushing the gun upgrade. I mean, he needs to make the gun. Although, he does only have... He does only have 1500 HP. Oh, it's a strange one. This is a strange one. Thomas starts shield. He surely can't afford that, can he? You can see the shield cost here. 1000 mass, 35,000 power. And making it while also making T2 land. Not the best timing. Oh, P-gens and build power going down to those bombers. And Thomas cancels the shield. I don't think he can afford to lose that time. He needs to use his gun to get this mass back. What is this? This is one hell of a game. A hell of a silly, silly game. Here we have another lab versus hoplite encounter. Yes, another one. The hoplite wins. Single Mantis doing some raiding. T2 land is just about finished now. Aesthetic is making T2. You should be getting stealth with that. And maybe you can just make T2 PDs, defend. Oh, he's making T2 PGen now. Still all this reclaim. Needs more engineers on the case. They're... yes, he is lacking for power. His army is just so much bigger for so much of the game, but he couldn't get past this ACU. Thomas now sitting in his base. He surely is going to die. He has no map control. He has nothing. He has one T2 max. But other than that, he just has an ACU. Oh, he's getting so many more kills. More overcharges going in. Aesthetic builds T2 power and a shield. He's building a TML. TML, that's a pretty good choice. Should can also build some bombers to kill any TMD if there is any, but I don't think there will be TMD. More and more kills. How many kills do you have in this ACU now? 141, and a lot of those kills are T2 kills. The TML is spotted. We have an engineer coming out now. Will it be in time? It takes 2 TMLs to kill this HQ. Oh, here it comes. It's gonna land. Oh, he ground fired to kill the TMD. He also tried to kill the T2 engineer, but missed. But he did kill the TMD and hit the factory. The factory is still alive, but it only would take a couple T1 bombers to kill it. Now the TMD is up. Aeon TMD only has 500 HP, so 2 T1 bombers will kill it. Unless they're Aeon bombers. You could also just run in and target this with these couple of hoplites. And we have T3 land, the loyalists coming out. On the bottom, far more units for aesthetic. And this should be the end. He finally can run past the ACU now that he has loyalists. And, well, that was a strange one. So, hope you had fun watching that. Hope you didn't get too much cancer. Well played, aesthetic. I like the Thomas tries just ridiculous stuff like making all those labs, making that speed gun. Making that speed gun was actually pretty smart. It cost him maybe too much, put him too far behind, but well, I think the labs more put him behind. It's a nice strategy to catch off the commander going to mid, and he did good damage. And ultimately, that double gun commander just did absurd amounts of damage. So many kills. So well played, both players. Aesthetic, maybe just get the gun a bit sooner and use stealth. But well played. Thanks for watching. See you next time.